Hello everyone, I'm Sarah of Rich Textures Crochet and welcome. Today we're going to learn how to crochet the Nautical Throw, which is a very easy crochet blanket to work. It's worked completely in the moss stitch, which I absolutely love. I have other blankets here on my channel such as the True Colors Throw and the Benjamin Throw that are also worked in this absolutely wonderful stitch. It just creates a great texture and weight for a blanket. Now today the blanket, as you can see here a little bit in the video, it's again all in the moss stitch, but what makes it unique is this color striping pattern. You'll have seen some photos at the very start of this video, and there's also some more on my website at richtexturescrochet.com if you want to check out the entire blanket. The blanket is worked all as one piece, and I have worked it in a worsted weight yarn. I used the Vanna's Choice yarn by Lion brand. There's about 170 yards of yarn per ball, and it's a 100% acrylic yarn. You're going to need two different colors, and for my blanket I used approximately 13 balls of my color A, which was the white color, and that included 2 balls that I added for the fringe. So there is an optional fringe on this blanket, and I allowed 2 balls for that. So 13 balls in total of color A, and then I used about 6 balls of color B, which was my navy color here. Yeah, you'll need about 6 balls. Today for the tutorial, I actually ran out of my Vanna's Choice yarn, so I'm going to use a little bit of the white, but I'm also going to throw in some of this Lion brand Heartland yarn as my color B. The tutorial today will not be the entire blanket. I'm going to show you how to work it, give you some tips on joining different colors and that kind of thing. So you will want to have a copy of the free written instructions, which are on my website at richtexturescrochet.com. The direct link is there for you in the description of this video. You're also going to need a 6mm crochet hook, which is a J10, and then of course a yarn needle and pair of scissors. So thank you so much for joining me. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, take a look around, check out some of these other blanket patterns that I have mentioned, and let's grab our hooks and yarn and get started. Now our blanket pattern today is worked in rows, and it's worked along the shorter ends of the blanket. My finished blanket measured approximately 46 by 72 inches long. And to reach that length, I chained a foundation chain of 185 stitches. So 185 stitches if you would like to work it to the 47 inches across, or 46 inches. Now, if you'd like to change the size of your blanket, as I'm going to do here, I'm only going to work a swatch in this tutorial. You're simply going to need an odd number of stitches. I'm going to work 31 stitches today, so you're just going to need an odd number or 185 chains. You're then going to, for row 1, you're going to begin by working a single crochet into the 3rd chain from your hook. Next, chain 1, skip the next chain, and single crochet into your next stitch. You're going to repeat that all the way across. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet into the next stitch, all the way across, where you will work your final single crochet stitch into the final stitch. When you come all the way across at the end of row 1, you're going to work your final single crochet into that final stitch. You can then chain 2 and turn your work. Now for row 2, you're going to skip the first stitch, so skip that single crochet at the base of your chain 2, and single crochet into the next chain 1 space. Now, because this is the first row of my blanket, sometimes I like the look of it better if I actually insert my hook into the skip chain down below. But this is only for this first row. Otherwise, you will always work into the chain 1 space. I just find it leaves a little bit of a gap, which I don't like when I'm finished my blanket. You're then going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, and again single crochet into the next chain 1 space. You're going to repeat that all the way across. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet into the next chain 1 space. All the way across until you come to that turning chain 2. When you come across at the end of your row 2, you're going to finish off with a chain 1, skip the next single crochet, and then work a single crochet into the chain 2 space. So into that chain 2 space, work your final single crochet. You're then going to chain 2 and turn your work. Now for your rows 3 through to 30, you're simply going to repeat that row 2. So skip the first stitch into your chain 1 space, work a single crochet. Chain 1, skip the next single crochet into the space, and this time I am just working into the space, single crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet all the way across, work your final single crochet into that chain 2 space, chain 2, and turn. So you're going to work a total of 30 rows in your color A, and then at the end of row 30, you're going to switch to your color B. Now this is where you're going to want a copy of that free written pattern on richtexturescrochet.com. Again, the direct link is there for you in the description of this video. Because I'm not going to work the whole blanket. After you work those 30 rows in color A, you're going to work 1 row in color B and then 4 in color A. 2 rows in color B, 4 in color A. And you're going to continue that for the entire blanket. You're always repeating your row 2. It's simply the colors that are switched up. Now, when you're going ahead and adding a new color, so say you've worked your 30 rows of color A, you want to switch to your color B. To do that, when you come across to your final chain 2 space, you'll have chained 1, skip 1 with your color A, and into your chain 2 space, insert your hook, yarn over, and drop a loop. You can then drop that color A, pick up your color B, place it on your hook, and pull through. Some people like to add a little slip knot. It's really up to you. You're then going to chain 2 in your color B, turn your work, and repeat your row 2. So that first row in color A, you're just working 1 single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. At the end of that row, you're switching back to your color A and working 4 rows in your color A. You will always want to fasten off and weave in at the end of each color change for this pattern. But that's all there is to working the body of the blanket itself. Head to richtexturescrochet.com, check out the color striping pattern there. It's all written out for you. At the end of the blanket. If you would like, you can add a fringe. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to add a fringe. I'm going to pull up my original blanket here. This is my original blanket. I have my fringe on here. This is my favorite way to work a fringe. It is so easy, so quick, and holds up really well for wash and wear. So all you're going to do is, for mine, I cut 4 lengths of yarn. The Vanna's Choice yarn is a little bit thicker in nature, so I worked the 4 lengths. If it was a thinner yarn, you might want to use 5 or more. It's really up to you. But you're going to cut 4 lengths of yarn between 6, 8, 10 inches, depending on how long you'd like your fringe. You're going to insert your hook into one of the ends of the rows on the short edge. Grab those strands of yarn and pull them through. You only want to pull through one side. You're then going to fold them over so that the ends all meet. And then you're simply going to tie a knot. You're going to repeat this all the way across the short edge of your blanket. I work 1 tassel every 2nd stitch all the way across just to keep it even. Trim all those edges off so that they meet and are even, and then your nautical blanket is complete. That's all there is working it. If you happen to make the nautical blanket, feel free to tag richtexturescrochet.com. If you share it on social media, I'll come by and admire it. And until next time, happy crocheting. Bye.